Hey loves, this is Bobby and I'm here with another vlog. And this is going to be vlog number 39 and I had a pretty great reading week. I finished a total of 6 books and I have started another one, which is the biggest book on my TBR as well as the biggest book on my shelf. So yeah, I am doing great so far. So yeah. So I decided this week to go back to my kind of daily, almost daily updates. I say daily, but let's be real. It was like almost every day, but not every day because I wasn't planning on it at first, but I started reading the 5th season and I wanted to talk about it so bad that I decided to do an update during the week and I kind of just kept going. I did miss a day, but still I did pretty great. And we were baking some more bread at work and stuff, so I threw in a little extra bits into this vlog, so I hope you guys enjoy it. So I will catch up with you at the end. I have started and finished my first book, which I did the audiobook for, and it was pretty good. I did this one for the team prompt of the haunted house trope, and I went with The Grip of It by Jamik. This follows the story of a couple who have had to move due to the husband being an impulsive gambler, and they're trying to move to try and get like a fresh start. Once they get into this house, when they're even just looking at it from the realtor, it's really, really cheap, which, come on, people. If a really big house is super cheap and like a really good type of area, don't fall for it. Don't do it. But they did. And yeah, when they're even just looking at it with the realtor, it becomes very obvious pretty like immediately that something's not quite right. Like this house has like hidden rooms within rooms. It's got a bunch of these like little crawl spaces. Like if you lift up the floor, there's like a full-on like crawl space underneath that's been like completely furnished. Like it's done. Like inside of like walls, you open it and there's like another like room. Like it's crazy. And they don't know why the house is like that. They don't know what happened to the person that originally owned the house. There's a bunch of like stories that they keep hearing around town. They end up moving in because why, I don't know. Like, come on, people. Have you never seen a scary movie? But they move in and immediately the wife, she starts getting these like bruises all over her body and she doesn't know where they're coming from, and they're like not like small little bruises like from like a bump knee. Like there's one that like goes from like the bottom of her clavicle like all the way down to her hip, and she doesn't know where they're coming from. And then the husband keeps hearing these kids playing outside in the woods, and it's just this house just slowly starts driving him like crazy. Weird shit starts happening. This is very much a haunted house. Like the actual house is the haunting, and we don't really, it's kind of very vague and dreamlike. It reminded me a lot of the house, The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I really love that book. I know it's not a book for everybody because that very flowery, dreamlike writing gets kind of confusing, and then the ending is kind of like an open ending. I did actually like the ending. It fit the tone. I like that very dream, what is actually happening, who can I trust, did any of this really happen type of horror. It's just something that, I don't know, it sticks out a lot to me, and I just really enjoy it. So I did really, really enjoy this one. I gave it 4 stars. I didn't really have any complaints. It got a little slow, seeing as it's not that long of a book. There was a couple parts where it kind of like went around in a circle a little too much, but I really enjoyed the writing. I would definitely check out more by this author, and I've been dying to read this book, and I am already over halfway done with it because I couldn't stop listening to it. Like I listened to it the entire time at work, the entire time on my break, and on the way home because I am like so just like fascinated with everything about this. And that is the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. I don't even know how to talk about this book. It's so crazy. I love the different writing styles within it. and the world is so interesting because it seems like it's our world, but kind of like this post-apocalyptic almost. And then it's got these fantasy elements to it, but I feel like this is a lot more sci-fi than anything, because we have these like giant earthquakes that are, there's like different seasons with fifth season that they bring different things. There's like acid rain type of thing, and then like extreme heat. Earthquakes is what is like the one I guess that's happening now. This is one of those books that honestly I could probably read like 2 or 3 times and I will still be like learning stuff. I'm like, I don't feel like I've gotten everything. So yeah, I will be watching other people's reviews on this because I just feel like I might be missing little things here and there, even though I've been like fully absorbed in this book. And we have these people with these powers, and the whole setup with people with powers, I think I'm really, really liking it because it reminded me with what I got from the Merciless Crow, where these people have these powers and they're kind of like the only people that can help in certain situations, but they're seen as like these outcasts, and it's like, I don't get that. Like, dude, you should be like wanting these people to help you and stuff and not like, you know, treating them like shit. But I am loving it. We've got 2 different point of view timeline type of things going on. I enjoy both of them, which usually there's one that I won't like as much and I kind of keep waiting for the other one. I am like fully absorbed in both of these. But yeah, I am about 60% through. I will hopefully be finishing this off first thing tomorrow. I'll probably finish it before I get off of work tomorrow. I am like hooked. I might keep just listening to the audiobook right now because I am like, I want to know what is hell is going to happen because I love these characters. I am just so blown away by the world though. I was not expecting to love it so much because it's just so like dark and gritty, but it has these kind of crazy elements. Like I said, I might power through and maybe almost finish this today because I want to know. I want to know what's going to happen. Especially since this is the first book. Like, this is a great start to the story. So yeah, that is where I'm at right now. I have also started a physical book, which I do not have on me right now. It's in my backpack because I was planning, I did start it. I got a couple, like 2 chapters in, but then I was so hooked on the 5th season that I ended up putting it down and just diving into that. And that is A Map of Days by Ransom Riggs, and this is the 4th book in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series. Like I said, I'm only like 2 or 3 chapters in, but so far I'm liking it. I didn't like the ending of the book before. It's why it took me so long to jump into the next one. Because I've had this on my shelf since it came out, and I didn't pick it up because I really didn't like the ending to the last book. Or the 3rd, because I thought the 3rd was actually going to be the last book, and then all of a sudden more came out, and I'm like 3 books behind now. But I'm liking it so far. It's picked up, and I feel like it's already fixing what I didn't like about the ending of the 3rd book. So yeah, we're got the kids back already. I'm very excited to see where it's all going and how. I can't talk too much about it because it literally takes off exactly from when the last book ended. So, like I said, and I'm only like 2-3 chapters in. But yeah, I'm liking it. I do enjoy these a lot. I'm doing this one for the mixed media because it has the pictures in there. Here's like a little thingy about the pictures. But yeah, this is the one though I'm going to be reading physically because I can't get myself to do the audiobook on this at all because you have to see the pictures. Like, that's my favorite part of this whole series are all the different pictures. So yeah. Also, I was reading the 5th season for a book featuring multiple point of views. The alternate was to read a book that has multiple characters who are people of color, which this actually hits that too. So I got a double up here, which is awesome. But yeah, so there you go. There is my quick little Tuesday update, which will be my Monday back at work. So I might stick with this daily update again. I miss doing them. It was always fun to do. So yeah, I will check in with you guys hopefully tomorrow. So bye. Hey loves, I am here with a quick Thursday update. I did not update yesterday because I was not home. I got home really late. So yeah, let's get into it. I read quite a few books. I finished the book that I was reading on Tuesday, and I have finished another 3 books and started another one. So yeah, I am making some great progress. At work though, right now we are like really, really slow, and I am getting done with everything I need to do like in one day. So then I have like 2 days where I don't do anything, and then I'll have another day where I'm actually physically doing things. So I'm reading a lot physically, and I'm reading a lot of audiobooks as well. So yeah, this is gonna be a crazy week where I probably get in a lot of books because I'm already like, wow, I can't believe I'm gonna probably finish this TBR early. I don't want to jinx it. I always say that, and then something happens and then I just fall behind. But yeah, I have made really great progress so far. So to start off, the book that I was reading on Tuesday, that was the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin, and I have finished it, and 5 stars. Holy crap, I loved this. I loved everything about this freaking book. I loved the different point of views. I loved how everything kind of came together. Like I mentioned before, I did have the kind of twist spoiled for me, but honestly, that it didn't bother me knowing that ahead of time. But reading this, I fully would have I would have got that like, immediately. Like it was really, really obvious to me where it was going. But I loved it. I loved the way with the style it was told in, the way the different types of point of views that we had. The world was amazing. I loved how this is a fantasy, but it really does cross the line of sci-fi as well. We do have a lot of science aspects to this with the whole earthquakes and everything. I cannot get enough of this. If I do finish my TBR early, I might dive into the second book because I need to know what's gonna happen. I am like hooked on this. I just loved everything about this. I love how kind of it gets more brutal the more we move forward, even though it starts off pretty dark. But I can't tell you how much I adored this. I loved the characters. I love the relationships. We do get a polyamorous relationship in here that has very kind of like a healthy undertone to it, which was great. But I dug everything about this. Like I could just rave about this for like an hour because there was so much, and I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to spoil anything because I know I will I will like word vomit and just spoil things. But it was so good, and that ending had me like, wait, what? What? I even had to like go back and like rewind it really quick because I thought I missed something, and I'm like, wait, what? Holy crap, what? I am like so excited for the second book though. This was phenomenal. Like I said, 5 stars, easy. It was a 5-star book from beginning to end. There was nowhere in this where I thought it was going to go down to 4, which is really rare. But holy crap. Yes. Read this. I know I'm super late to the game and I think everybody has read this, but if you haven't and you're like thinking about it, just do it because it was amazing. It's so well written and just everything. So as soon as I finished that, I picked this one up because it's the one that I was kind of like out of my TBR. It's the one that I was kind of like the most hesitant about because it's not my favorite genre. And that is Two Can Keep a Secret by Karen M. McManus. I read One of Us is Lying. I really dug it. Even though I guessed the plot twist to that one at the very like first chapter, I think, yeah, I guessed the ending, but it didn't bother me because I really liked the way it was told, and I liked the characters and the way it was kind of like this Breakfast Club type of like murder mystery. I loved all of that. The writing was great. This one, not so much. We follow a character named Ellery. She and her twin brother Ezra have had to move to their mother's hometown to go live with their grandmother because their mother is being sent to rehab because she's an alcoholic and she has like a drug addiction. So they are being forced to go live with their grandmother for right now, and it's this small town where everybody knows everybody, but at the same time, everybody has these secrets because in this small town, a lot of things are going on. Her mother's twin sister went missing when she was a teenager, and they have no idea, what happened to her or anything. And later on, another girl goes missing, and then when they get there, this other girl has gone missing, and they're trying to figure out how it all kind of ties together because there's no way that you have these, teenage girls going missing. And there's these threatening messages being left around town that the prom queen is the one that's going to, or homecoming queen, I can't remember if it was homecoming or prom, queen is the one that's going to be taken. And, it had a lot of promise, but I did not care for the main character. And then, like, her brother is kind of like a, you know, he can get along with whoever he wants, and she's just kind of like the dark, gloomy one that literally someone says hi to her and she starts spouting about, you know, murders and stuff like that. Like, okay, come on, girl. Like, I'm socially awkward, but I mean, and I overshare, but I'm not spouting off, you know, murder rates and stuff to people right when I meet them. But yeah, it was just, and then I will tell you, I mean, I figured out where this was going immediately. But at the same time, I didn't guess the, you know, whodunit in here. I guessed the what happened, but not the whodunit. And the only reason I didn't is because honestly, I kind of zoned out while listening to the audiobook. It just lost me quite a few times. I just didn't care all that much. I went with 3 stars. It's a very low 3 stars, but I went 3 stars because it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't all that good. My next audiobook, this was one I wasn't sure if I was going to read physically or do an audiobook for. But I really wanted to just kind of get something cute in. And since I'm still working on Map of Days physically, I ended up just going audiobook-wise for this one. And that is You Should See Me in a Crown by Leigh Johnson. I did really like this. I'm marking it as a 4-star, but it is more of a 3.5. It's not that it was bad or anything. I did genuinely really, really enjoy this. It was really cute. It had some really great points in it. We're following a character named Liz, who she lives in this small town in Indiana. She's a young black girl. She's a band nerd. She is poor. So she's kind of like, and she is queer. So she's kind of got a lot going against her in here, but she's in the closet to, like, the public, basically. Like, her family knows, they accept her. Some of her friends know, and a new girl moves into town and she gets a crush on her and they start spending time together. Liz is trying to get a scholarship through her music. She is composing like the school's big finale and everything. And that actually ends up falling through. And so she decides that she's going to run for prom queen because the winner of prom queen ends up getting $100,000 scholarship of their choice, you know, to pay for school. So she knows that's basically the only way she's going to do it. So she starts campaigning to become prom queen, even though she's like on the bottom of the high school hierarchy. I really liked all that. And then we get the new girl in town and they kind of have to spend time together, and she has to spend time with an ex-friend of hers who they're no longer friends. When they were freshmen, he kind of just totally dismissed her. Like I said, it was really, really cute. I liked the romance for the most part. There was a part in here, though, that did make me kind of angry, especially at Liz, where it's another one of those times where it was a total kind of jealousy, almost misunderstanding trope, but it never really gets fully resolved. Like, it doesn't get a full-on apology and talking about, like, you can't do this. Like, I just didn't like that, especially because Liz is very much, you know, you have to ask me if you want to give me a hug, or very much about boundaries, and she breaks those boundaries. And if other people do it, she gets mad, but if she does it, it seems like it's okay. That's a really big point for me that I do not like. The other thing in here is that Liz takes a lot of influence from people around her. There are parts in here where she is influenced, and there are a lot of influencing elements to her where she doesn't kind of stand up for herself. She's very much a follower is what it is, and she doesn't want to go against the grain because she's so afraid of nobody liking her, even though she doesn't talk to anybody, and she's kind of like really standoff with people. And when that keeps getting brought up to her, like, you know, we would like to be friends with you, but you kind of never wanted anything to do with us. She blames everybody else and she never takes responsibility for that. When it comes out that there was, you know, some outside influences to a friendship with her and everything, she still doesn't take any responsibility for anything. And that's what really brought it down to like into that 3.5, almost 3, because she just doesn't, and it drives me nuts. It was super sweet though, like, don't let me discourage you. I fully on recommend this. It was super sweet. I loved the the romance in it. I love how she does start learning to be her own person. Like I said, it was just a lot of little things that kind of built up for me that kind of annoyed me. And a lot of it's personal reasons. Like, a lot of it is personal. A lot of people won't even notice that, but for me, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. But yeah, it was cute though. I like her relationship with her brother and, you know, her friends. They are there for her and stuff like that. You know, of course we got to get the drama happening, but I did really enjoy a lot of this. It was good. So after that, I had a few more hours left at work, so I decided to go with another audiobook. I picked up Map of Days, but I started doing like a little things here and there that I needed to do at work. So I threw on another audiobook, and that was Artificial Condition by Martha Wells. This is the second book in the Murderbot's Diaries. I keep calling it the Murderbot series, but it's the Murderbot Diaries. I honestly can't talk that much about it because this ties in directly to the first one, and I feel if I say anything, I'll kind of maybe give away things from the first one. But I just absolutely am loving this series. I already finished it. This is a short story. I think the audiobook was like 3.5 hours or so. So 2 times speed. I finished it in no time. I finished it like right before I got off of work. And I loved it. It was 4 stars. The first one was solid 4 stars. This was a solid 4 stars. I love the main kind of character in here. He's great. I love all the little aspects of him kind of growing and everything, but I just loved everything. I love this kind of expanded universe and how he's making his way through this. But like I said, I got to be really vague because I don't want to like ruin anything. But yeah, I fully on, if you want some really great sci-fi, I fully on recommend the Murderbot Diaries. It's great. I cannot wait to get to the 3rd book. That's another one, like, the 5th season. If I have extra time, I might just do the audiobook for the 3rd one because I'm ready for it, because I'm just, like, obsessed with this series. It's so great. So, next, I still had a bit of time, so I wanted to just start another book, because I, of course, you know, all day long, not doing too much of anything, and, of course, like, the last 2 hours of work is when, like, oh, hey, let's do a bunch of different things, like, really quick. And it's like, okay. And I'm, like, such in a reading, like, book mode. Like, I just want to, and I was really excited about this one. And I'm glad I started it. It's very, very different than what I was expecting already, but I am digging it. And that is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. Everyone knows what Jurassic Park is about. I'm not going to explain Jurassic Park because if you don't know, I don't know what to tell you. I do not know what to tell you if you don't know what Jurassic Park is about. But I'm loving this so far. Very, very different. It starts so different. I will say, though, the very first chapter had me just cracking up because it opens on this doctor in Costa Rica. Her name is Bobby, and it is spelled the same way as my name, which was great. But Bobby is a doctor, and she wasn't that bright. But at the same time, I'm laughing because I don't know if it's the fact that Jurassic Park is such a pop culture, like, staple that it's influencing me because, this isn't spoiling anything. It's literally the very first chapter, but she's this doctor in Costa Rica and they're building, you know, Jurassic Park on an island in Costa Rica, and nobody knows what's going on. They think it's going to be like a resort type of thing. Like, nobody knows dinosaurs are coming back to life or anything like that. But an employee, one of the people building it, they get injured and they bring him to this Dr. Bobby. And they tell her that he was hurt by, you know, there was a machinery accident. And she sees him and she's like, this isn't a machine. Like, these are claw marks. Like, these are full on claw marks. She keeps saying they look like claw marks. These are animal marks. I've dealt with maulings before, like a little kid that was mauled by a Rottweiler and stuff. So she keeps saying that this is an animal that did this. And then she asks the guy, like, what did this to you? I know this isn't a machine. And he straight up tells her raptor. And she's like, raptor? Is that Spanish? What is raptor? And it's just like the whole time I'm just like, even if you don't know that dinosaurs are coming back, if you see claw marks and someone says raptor and you don't think a dinosaur, like a dinosaur raptor at all, but I'm just laughing because it's like, is it the fact that that's the first thing that comes to mind? Because 1, I know what I'm reading, and 2, like Jurassic Park, the whole dinosaurs maybe coming back thing has already influenced me, and so that doesn't pop into your head at first. So I'm like blown away by that first freaking chapter because I'm just like, wait. Like, would you not think about a raptor seeing claw marks and someone telling you raptor? Like, I'm just, like, I was cracking up, and I was just like, what the hell? Like, what? He told you what it is, and she doesn't believe. It's just, I don't know, it was wild. I am like 9 chapters in already. It's very, very different than what I thought it was going to be. They're just about to get to, no, I'm chapter 11. So they are just, we've just met Hammond, who is the one that is, you know, building the park and stuff, and they're about to get to the park. Really fast paced though. Like the beginning, the first 9 chapters, these are really, really, really short chapters. So when I say 9, it's not like, oh, that's 9 chapters. No, like 9 chapters is like literally that. That we're getting like all the setup of like people, like there are things happening, like a little girl gets attacked. If you've seen the second Jurassic Park movie with the little girl on the island, that's already happened in here, like one of the very first chapters. So it's like these little attacks keep happening of dinosaurs. So I'm really curious, like there's people actually coming in contact with these things already. So it's very different, but I am very excited for this one. I've loved the movie. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. So I'm very excited to see how they differ, because I have always heard that the movie was better. But so far I'm really liking it. I can't wait to get into this. We'll get into it some more. So really quick though, I got some book mail today, and I am so excited for this one. I can't wait to read this, and I'm probably going to be reading this for the second readathon that I'm doing this month, which I will do the TBR video and announce all that later. But that is Bridge of Souls by Victoria Schwab. This is the 3rd book in the Cassidy Blake series. I don't remember what the name of the series is. I feel like it said it on here, but it doesn't. But yeah, the first book is City of Ghosts, and the second book is The Tunnel of Bones. This is the 3rd. This is a middle grade horror, like paranormal horror. I love it. We follow the story of a young girl named Cassidy Blake, who she is able to see ghosts, and her parents are paranormal investigators. Her mom is very much we need to commune with the spirits, and her dad is more of the scholar, and he wants to disprove it. And her best friend is a ghost that is actually attached to her. He saved her life, and they've got this kind of attachment to each other where he can read her mind. And it's not like the way it's done is really cool, because anytime she thinks anything, he knows what she's thinking. So she doesn't ever have like this actual like minute of privacy with them. It's very odd, but I really like it. So it's just really cool. I love the series. I think both books were either 4 or 5 stars. Like, I've just genuinely enjoyed this. This is that darker middle grade that I really, really enjoy. So there we go. There is my quick little Thursday update. I will catch up with you guys hopefully tomorrow and let you know what else happens in this one, because this is my main focus, my audiobook for tomorrow, and this should take me all day, I think. But yeah, so there we go. That's what's what. I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Alright, so today is Sunday, which is the last day of the vlog. I did not update yesterday because I honestly just forgot, and I was like so tired when I got home from work. I actually had to work, so I was just like exhausted when I got home, so I didn't film. But today's Sunday, so I didn't really get any reading done today. So yesterday I finished 2 books, which was great. One of them was one of the ones I had already started, so I didn't finish 2 full books. But I finished one, and then I started and finished another one, which was pretty fast. But they were the audiobooks I did at work. First was the last book I was working on, and that was Jurassic Park. I have got to tell you, I loved this. This was so much scarier than the movie. Like, it was great. The movie is still, like, amazing. It'll be always one of my favorite movies. And this was a great... It was a really good adaptation. The movie was a really good adaptation. It cut out a lot of the little things that could have been cut out. The only thing that I will say is that the raptors have a much bigger part in this, and it was great. Like, I loved the raptors. Like, I remember as a kid watching Jurassic Park for the first time, and the raptors terrified the hell out of me. They are so much more in here, and there's more of them. It was great though. I loved all the extra science in it. I loved the characters. The one thing I will tell you is the characters are very different in here. Like, almost all of them are very different. Hammond, who is the older man who brings them to Jurassic Park, his character is so different. Like, the whole time I was like, I kept getting him confused for someone else, because I was like, wait, this is our happy grandpa? Like, what the hell? And then, honestly, just everybody really was. I ended up going with 4 stars. This is like a 4.5. I'm gonna mark it 4 because I will never bump up a 4.5 to a 5-star. It'll go down to the 4. This would have been 5 stars if it wasn't for Lex, who is the like teenage girl that's there. She was just one, so annoying. I know I talked about it yesterday or on Thursday that, oh, she just drove me up the wall. Or Friday when I talked about it. She just was so unnecessary. This was someone who's never really, I felt like when he wrote her character, is someone that hadn't actually been around like a teenager and just went full on teenage girl stereotype, like life or death situations, and she's still acting super like, I'm not gonna do what you told me to. Girl almost got eaten by a freaking T-Rex and she's gonna argue. Like, I don't know, some of it was a little too much. Like, she got really, really annoying. And there was a scene in here that really, it was like the one that finally just got me. I'm like, you know what, 4.5, I can't give it the 5 because it was just irritating me. She irritated me so much to the point that it kind of pulled me out of the story because I was just like rolling my eyes at it. But it is a phenomenal. I heard a lot of people don't like this one. They like the movie. They say, oh, the movie was a lot better. You know what? The movie is an amazing adaptation for a family movie. Like, kids can watch it. This is a full-on like adult. Like, we get, oh, it's really, really like the parts in it that were scary, like really made me like, when I'm listening to the audiobook at work, I was even like stopping, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, because this felt like no one was safe. Like, I've seen the movie, but like how the personalities of all the characters were so different that I felt like literally anything could happen. And let me tell you, anything did happen. There was a few parts in there where I literally had to go back and like rewind. I say rewind, yes, I'm old. But I had to go back and like replay a part because I'm like, wait, did that just happen? What are you freaking kidding me? Like, I was upset, but in a good way. Like, I was invested. I loved it. I fully recommend Jurassic Park. I will be hopefully reading the second one, which is Lost World. I don't have a copy of it, but I do have the dual edition, the Barnes & Noble one of this. So yeah, I am really looking forward to the second one. I've heard the second one is like even like kind of like scarier. Like, it really gets like the kind of the tension and everything. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, I love this. I fully recommend it. If you want a really great dinosaur book and it's something that you've watched probably 1,000 times, I loved it. I loved it. After that, I wanted to go, I knew Oathbringer. I had just gotten the the audiobook hold from the librarian. I was going to start it, but I had a feeling, since it was Saturday, that today, because I knew that I wasn't going to be home and I wasn't going to have a chance to listen to it, that I would put it back. I'm like, nope, I'm going to wait. I will probably start listening to it tomorrow. So I did put that back and I picked up this one and it was pretty great. I really enjoyed it. And that is The Strange Fascinations of Noah Hypnotic by David Arnold. This is a YA contemporary with kind of fantastical themes in it. I really enjoyed this. We follow the story of a boy named Noah, who he and his best friends, they go to a party and, they're having a good time. He gets kind of drunk and ends up following this other boy home. And once he leaves that boy's house, he wakes up the next morning and things are just different. His dog, which was kind of older, had been injured and kind of like, on his last little legs, is all of a sudden this really energetic, like frisky kind of dog. Like, he's all over the place. His mother, she has this scar on his face that he's never seen before. His dad all of a sudden likes like different music and stuff. And it's just like little things here and there. But Noah has these things where he kind of like fixates on certain things. There's like this YouTube video of this woman who, we've all seen it. It's like she took a picture pretty much every day of her life for like 40 years or 30 years or something like that. And it's like a compilation to like watch her age. He's just completely fascinated about that. And that's one of the few things that it hasn't changed. She's completely obsessed with Breakfast at Tiffany's. She talks in this like total Audrey Hepburn kind of like accent from the movie. And nothing about her has changed. And she has also noticed that the dog is acting different, that he asked her like, okay, where did mom get this scar? And she's like, I don't know, it kind of just popped up one day, and she don't question it. It is great. It's a very weird book. It's got these very kind of like, what's going on, like you're really really trying to figure out what was going on the whole time. Even I'm like, we get the point that, he was hypnotized. He kind of figures out that he was hypnotized. So you think what's going on. The reason I'm going with 4 stars. It's a little closer to 3.5. It's really closer to 3.5 or 4. I'm happy with 4 stars on it. The kind of plot twist on top of the kind of like what's going on, I thought it was really just unnecessary. It should have stuck with where it was going originally. It wasn't enough for me to like downgrade it to like a 3. It was still really good. I really love the way it was written. It was a great contemporary. I really enjoyed it. It had just enough of that little extra for me to truly enjoy it, since contemporary is not a genre I'd really dive into too often. But the cover is absolutely gorgeous. It's wonderfully written. Like I said, the plot is really all over the place, but really fun, and like you're constantly trying to like pick up like what's different. And once he starts confronting these fascinations of his, how they haven't changed, watching them and like why they didn't change was really cool. Like I said, the only reason I couldn't either give it a 5 or like that full on strong, this was a 4-star book, was that little added plot twist to it. It was kind of stupid and didn't feel like it fit into the book, but it wasn't enough for me to downgrade it to the 3. So yeah, I do definitely recommend this, and I would want to read something else by this author, because like it was wonderfully written. The characters felt real, and yeah, so another great book this week. So those were the 2 last ones that I finished for this week. So for the next book, though, I'm going to be putting A Map of Days down for a little bit, because I'm going to have to balance this out, because this is another book that I'm going to be reading physically, and I've only been reading 1 book physically at a time. I used to do like 3 or so, but with the audiobooks, it's a little harder to balance out. Me and my friend Emma, we are going to be doing this one as a buddy read, and we're taking it so many like chapter sections at a time. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. Yes, I see you. Yes, I see you. Yes, I see you. Yes, yes. Ow! You're not light. Say hi. But yeah, we are going to be reading The Gray Shear by Kim Liggett. This is like a YA horror. These girls have these powers that men are like influenced by them, and women are super jealous. They're just like hunted down to be killed, or they're caught and sold off to like use these powers. This has amazing reviews, and it says like it has like that really flowery writing that I like. So that flowery writing on top of the horror aspect, I am so interested in. I cannot wait to get into this. So I'm going to be reading this physically until I get to the part where me and Emma are breaking it up, and then I'll switch back to A Map of Days. But yeah, we are hoping that this buddy read goes off a lot better, because we buddy read for this readathon, which is the tropical readathon last year, and it was The Wicked Deep, and we both absolutely hated the book. I finished it in a day, and it was a hate read for me. When it came to Emma, they finished it, I think. It took them a few extra days, I think, to finish it, because they hated it so damn much. And they were like, I don't think I can finish this. And I want to say they finished it, but I'm not 100% sure. So fingers crossed, Emma, that this works out so much better. I'm excited though. Like I said, this has phenomenal ratings, and I love horror, and I love flowery writing, so I am so cannot wait. So yeah, I'm gonna be breaking this up with A Map of Days. So there we go. That's what's what. I hope you guys had a wonderful week. What books did you read? Did you read anything really good? Did you read anything really bad? I will check in with you guys next week. So take care and happy reading. Bye.